Okay, what's up guys? Welcome back to Diamond Hands Trading Channel. Today I'm going to go into how to identify support and resistance levels when you're looking at a chart on Tradingview, no matter what it is, stocks, crypto. I'm going to try and make it as short and simple as possible so you'll be able to do this with your own trading. So let's hop right into it. So first off, we're just going to start off with the whiteboard. I'm just going to draw a couple examples and yeah, I'm just trying to make it as simple as possible. So let's say when you're looking for support, you're looking for, it's obviously a downtrend, right? And maybe there was a previous chart over here that was support we continuously bounced off of, right? So let's say we were coming up like this, right? There was a big uptrend and then there was resistance, right? So we wicked up and we started to reject, came slight pullback, tried to make it up again, reject, and that's like kind of like a double top scenario if something like that was to happen. So we know that this level is now resistance, our resistance level, right? So that you can just mark down your chart for however long, maybe another week's time, it comes back up again. You know this level is resistance. You're going to be looking at this level to either short or go long if we were to break out, retest the support, and then start to make a new high. Right? So that's how you would observe that level. Two separate plans. You're either looking to short here with a stop loss above, maybe it wicked like this, right? You would have your stop loss there. So hopefully that makes sense. Now the opposite would be we had support here when it bounced, support here, right? So if you're short, you can either use these levels as targets, or you can use them, to maybe it wicks below, starts a reclaim. Now you want to go long here with a stop loss below, targeting this resistance level here. So that's just kind of playing a range. We'll go into that in a minute. I'm going to go back to TradingView and show you actual charts. I'm just trying to draw it out and make it as simple as possible. So yeah, easy thing is we know we got support, resistance. Okay. So for our first example, we're just going to look at Ethereum. Now, something that a lot of people get confused about is what time frame should I be looking at if I'm trying to identify support and resistance levels. Now, in this case, it's the higher the time frame, the better. You don't want to be looking at 15 minutes or even hourly charts to identify support and resistance unless you're looking for like a very short-term scalp. Right, so the most reliable information you can get is going off of like the daily, the weekly, like where those weekly opens and closes were. So looking at Ethereum on the first run up, like right in the beginning of January 2021, I marked this level here, right? Just going off of this high here on Thursday, January 7th, 2021. And you can just see how it wicked above a couple times. Like this was being treated as resistance. So we wicked above a couple times, retrace, made its way back up again, like in the example I showed on the whiteboard. This time it broke out, closed above, had that wick down January 22nd, and then came back up. So essentially what's happening here is that level's resistance. Players in the market are consistently shorting it, right? So it just keeps wicking up, fails, and then eventually comes up, retests the support, makes that first run up to 2K. That was like a new all-time high in February 2021. One last retest of the $1,294, $1,300 level. That's where this is marked at. And then we start making new highs and higher lows. Right, and then that goes all the way up until May, where we top out at 4,400. Right, so now we know this is our new all-time high. I can simply just, you're going to go to your trading view in the left-hand corner. It's the second option. This is where all your trend lines you can get. I go with the horizontal ray, so I'll just put it right there. All right, so now we know this is our resistance level. Right. And we also know that this is a high time frame support level. Okay, and we came back down. We never touched that again. Now you can continuously mark new supports, like right here. It was resistance. We flipped as support. So it's just simply S&R levels, and that's what people refer to it as short. Came back down to the support, kept consolidating below it, and then breaking back up for that next run up in July. So yeah, you can just see here how we treated it as resistance again. October 21st, hit it, wicked back down, inverse hammer. Eventually made it back up, but fake out one last time. Didn't even make it to that all-time high here in December. And then I think that was the flash crash at the beginning of December last year, which was awful, where Bitcoin went to like 53 to 40K in like 2 hours and then pumped all the way back up. But yeah, we'll have a look at that. You can see it was like 4,600, went down to like 3,400 for a whopping like 30% dump in such a short period of time, which is pretty big for Bitcoin and Ethereum because they're such large market caps. But yeah, so we started a new downtrend for Ethereum at that point. So I just take a trend line, right, and I clicked it from the point here and I dragged it right there. So let's see, we just tapped. Funny how we just tapped it again. The beginning of November, right before the FTX crash, and we just tapped it again. So we've been trying to break above that, and we actually just started doing that the other day. So we're finally breaking out a retest of support here. Let me zoom in a little bit. Right, so broke out. You can see the daily candle came down. Let me delete that so it's down the way. Daily candle came down, ended up pumping all the way back up above this high here. This was treated as resistance multiple times. Now we flipped it as support, right? And now we're doing the same thing. So I'm personally thinking we're going to at least come back up to this 1230 level. Let's go to a 4 hour. Yeah, so I'm thinking something like this. We're just consolidating here a little bit, maybe one more bounce, and then up into this level, right? Maybe we hang around here for a little bit, flip it, and then again to 1286. So that would be my thesis. Okay. Yeah, so good example is just to simply go off of high time frame and just mark out your highs and your lows. So we know this is our low here, 11:55, December 22nd. We had a little SFP right here where our price briefly traded below there and then ended up closing above. That initiated the next run up back to this green 1230 level, right? And yeah, so it's really easy. It's not like, it's not that hard to do. It's just where do you do it? So you always want to be going off of 4 hour, 12 hour daily. Don't be doing it all 15 minute, 30 minute hourly. Right, so your most reliable is going to be daily, weekly, very high time frames, right? So I know I got to put a level right here. Look at that. So that was my low. We know we treated it as support again. So this is a very strong support level at 1070. I know basically the easiest way to describe it is a support level is when we have a strong price reaction at that point where we continue back up, and resistance when we have a continuous rejection of that level. That's the simplest way to describe it definition wise. So we can see that 1300 is a pretty strong resistance. Every time we keep wicking above, wick above, reject, again and again and again. Even though we broke out this time, strong pullback again. So yeah, we're kind of just floating within this range. We're kind of like at the mid range right now. See this bottom right here of November 8th of that wick? We're literally at that price point right now. So yeah, hopefully that is simple. So one last time, just to summarize everything up. for support levels, we're wanting to see a strong price reaction. We want to go long at support. You know, stop losses below the wicks, targeting that next resistance. And then for resistance levels, we want to see it break out, see if it closes above. If it doesn't and looks weak like a candle right here, we want to go short, stop loss above the wick, and then targeting this level here, right? And we never quite got that. It kept wicking above, so that would have been a very tough trade to take. But, you know, you still would have been able to take profit. 1240 if you're going short. At 1300, there was still plenty of profit to make here. You could have just simply dragged this to these highs. We know price rejected here, rejected again. So we know that 1235 was a strong resistance level, so you could just simply take profit there as well, right? So hopefully that makes sense. And yeah, I'm gonna look at Bitcoin just for 1 second, just to identify some high time frame ones for everyone. Let's go back to the daily chart. You know that we're in this little range currently. Whoops. So we printed that low November 9th at around 15.4K. Came back up, retested the support again. So we got two equal lows here. Yeah. Okay. And then we know this level right here is a pretty strong resistance. The bottom of that daily wick, that I think that's what, November 7th? From 8th, yeah. So the bottom of that wick, we can see that, you know, wicking above it, close below, wick. There's like multiple cases where it was resistance. Finally broke above, started treating it as support, made that run up, and now we're still below it now as well. So it's kind of like the range you're currently in. You can also draw a fib retracement, which will give you the midpoint of that range. It's roughly around 16.2. And yeah, that's an easy technique as well. If you ever want to just identify a range, go drag it from the bottom of a support to a resistance level that we're consistently trading in. If you go to your fib retracement tool, it's going to be your third one down right here. And then there's settings for that. Let me just do it real quick. So the settings pop up here. Just unmark everything besides the 0, the 1, and the 0.5, and that'll just give you your range. And the 0.5 will be the midpoint of that range. So that's an easy way to do it. I know the default settings will have like the 0.618 and all of these other ones, which are, you know, good to look at sometimes as well. But for me, I like to just have my clean range with just the 3 of them. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful. Alright guys, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video and you found value, I appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Again, my name is BYBIT. This is Diamond Hands Trading Channel, and I'll see you next time.